EACU lines up with God, what God has. Once we go back to the footprints of the sand, how God was carrying you the whole way, it's just like, oh, EACU
Mhm.
was always in the picture, God. Like, whoa, wait.
One thing I want to call out to that thought, and it's a great question. For me, everything correlates because God had already given me the destiny. He's already shared what my purpose on earth will be. And everything that He has me connected to and establishing and things of that sort, I didn't have to pray on it. You know, oftentimes as believers, we may be presented with an opportunity and we're like, hey, let me seek God in prayer about this, or let me just meditate or fast about this and fast about that. And one thing I do want to encourage those who may see this video later on is that when you know your identity in Christ, we talked about Romans 12:2, but when you really understand your identity and you're not running away from it, there is a sound from heaven. There's literally a unique sound from heaven that is God's voice. Because ultimately, when it talks about Romans 12:2, not being conformed by the pattern of this world, but being transformed by the renewing of the mind, there is a old nature and an old creation. And when you're in Christ, you become a new creation. But that former person, that old man, will begin to process things a little differently. That is not God's voice. It's not what He's promised you. It's not what He's ordained over your life. It's not what He's sanctioned. And when you hear that voice, it tries to cloud. The enemy works with what we call clinically, because I am a counselor as well, but what we call clinically is distorted thinking. And most times, how the enemy tries to defeat us is in our mind, because it wants us to rely more on the old nature than stepping into what God has ordained and promised us from the very beginning. And so with the new creation, it's like, okay, everything that I'm gifted to do, and all glory goes to God. I don't even call it my gifts, but what God has gifted me to do, it literally lines up with everything. I can't even run away from it. It's just something that comes out of me. It's like that Nabi. It just comes out. It just flows out.